Good morning, guys. We're on day 10 of The Warrior, a Kingdom Fit devotional by Brooke Caldwell. It's going to be a good one. So, cheers. Sorry, one more. We're going to sit with our coffee for a minute this morning. Brief hold. It's so funny so many times in the morning when I'm sitting with my Bible, getting ready to read, and I start drinking my coffee. It like overwhelms me with thankfulness. I know that sounds a little cuckoo cuckoo, but like that first sip of coffee in the morning, it's just like, thank you, Jesus. It just starts my thankful journey out. Day 10. Don't you even care? Then he turned to his disciples and said to them, why are you so afraid? Haven't you learned to trust yet? Mark 4:40. I think I have been on 4 cruises. I have only had one good experience. I like the food, the 4-course meals, the evening shows, and the sunshine. What I dislike the most is the ocean. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the beach. However, there is a big difference between the beach and the ocean. When I am on that ship in the middle of the vast ocean, I am at the mercy of the water, or should I say, I am at the mercy of those billowing waves. I choose land and sand over the sea and waves any day. That is precisely why I feel that I can relate to Jesus' disciple in today's story that comes from the book of Mark. That reads, later that day, after it grew dark, Jesus said to his disciples, let's cross over to the other side of the lake. After they had sent the crowd away, they shoved off from the shore with him, as he had been teaching from the boat. And there were other boats that sailed with them. Suddenly, as they were crossing the lake, a ferocious tempest arose, with violent winds and waves that were crashing into the boat until it was all but swamped. But Jesus was calmly sleeping in the stern, resting on a cushion. So they shook him awake, saying, teacher, don't you even care that we are all about to die? Fully awake, he rebuked the storm and shouted to the waves, hush, calm down. All at once, the wind stopped howling, and the water became perfectly calm. Then he turned to his disciples and said to them, why are you so afraid? Haven't you learned to trust yet? But they were overwhelmed with fear and awe and said to one another, who is this man who has such authority that even the wind and waves obey him? Mark 4:35 through 41. Jesus had been teaching a large crowd of people that followed him that day from a boat in the region of the Galilee. After he sent the crowd away, he said to his disciples, let's cross over to the other side of the lake. The Lake of Galilee is 13 miles long at its longest and 8 miles wide at its widest. At this particular part of the lake, it was about 5 miles across. The Sea of Galilee is well known for its sudden, violent storms. And this storm, clearly evident by the disciples' reactions, was a very bad storm. And get this, several of the disciples were experienced fishermen on this very lake. What kind of storm was this to evoke such fear in these men? The text clearly indicates that they were scared for their lives. Literally, put yourself in that boat. Are you rowing frantically, praying desperately, trying to find a bucket to help get all the water out of the boat? Quick, someone go get Jesus. Wait, where is Jesus? Oh, Jesus is sleeping. Are you kidding me? If this storm doesn't wake Jesus up, what wakes him? It wasn't the water coming over the boat splashing on him. It wasn't the waves crashing over the sides, but it was the need of his disciples. It says that they woke him. So Jesus gets up and calms the storm. He shouted to the sea, and the sea obeyed him. Could you imagine being there that day to witness nature itself obeying the Creator? He then turns to his disciples, who I imagine are standing there with their jaws to the ground and their eyes bulging out, and he says, why are you so afraid? Haven't you learned to trust me yet? The storm didn't seem to shock Jesus near as much as the lack of trust his disciples had in him. He already told them that they were going to the other side. Not that they might make it to the other side, but that they would make it to the other side. Jesus so longed for his disciples to trust him. Jesus also longs for you to trust him. He wants to be in your boat. Jesus is in your boat. You can rest assured that you will make it to the other side of whatever storm you find yourself in. The other side of your failures, the other side of your fears, your disappointments, your questions. You can trust him. He is good and kind and capable to calm every storm you are facing. Let's look one more time at the response of the disciples after this life-altering event on the Lake of Galilee. But they were overwhelmed with fear and awe and said to one another, "Who is this man who has such authority and that even the wind and waves obey him?" This is a question that you need to ask yourself. Who is this man? I can say he is the Messiah. I can believe that Jesus is God's promised one, sent to save the world. But you have to answer this question for yourself. Who is this man that even the wind and waves obey him? Is he the Messiah? Did God send him to save you, and will you trust him? I'll leave you with that question, and I'll see you again tomorrow.